cylindrical capacitor. The method remains the same. Two coaxial cylinders. Can you see that? The inner radius R1, the outer radius R2. Let's say plus Q is the charge on the inner capacitor and minus Q is the charge on the inner surface of outer capacitor. Yet again, I don't need to tell you that the field inside the inner will be 0, outside the outer will be 0, and field and electrostatic energy will only be in the space given, middle space. Shall we find out? Let's take a Gaussian surface. Why? To apply Gauss law, we need dabba. Dabba means enclosed volume. Why? Duh, the word is enclosed. How can you enclose something without closing it? So Gauss law is applied only on volumes. But LHS, integral E dot ds, deals with the surface area, and the RHS tells you the enclosed charge within the volume. Ready? Ready, sir. Applying Gauss law on my Gaussian surface. Guess what? The radius of the Gaussian surface is small r. Clearly, small r is more than R1. Integral E dot ds is equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. The beauty of Gauss law is that the LHS contains electric field term which is due to all the charges both inside and outside the Gaussian surface, but RHS only contains enclosed. Got it? So E is radially symmetric, not equal. I'm not saying uniform. I'm not saying that. Symmetric. So what happens? E comes out. Do you realize flux is through three surfaces? Top, bottom, curved. But because phi top and phi bottom will be 0. Why is that? Because radially symmetric coming out. Hence, what you have is only the curved surface. Is this capiche or not? Phi top equal to phi bottom equal to 0. So E comes out and brings along just a 2 pi RL, the curved surface area. And Q enclosed will be equal to how much? Well, what I can see here is since you chose X length, right? So 2 pi Rx first of all. My bad. And if you take the linear charge, your call. Okay. Let's say we call it Q dash. Happy about it so far? Right? And the charge can be understood as total Q charge is over L length of the cylinder, right? Total Q charge. So you'll say, unitary method will say 1 upon epsilon naught, you can separate Q by L and multiplied by how much is your effective length of Gaussian surface? X. Right? Now, X gets cancelled. Nice. So what is my E? For which R are we talking about? We are talking about R which is definitely more than R1, R2. And it is equal to how much? It is equal to Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL. Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL, R cap. R cap. Take your time. I know we have to find two things. We have to find capacitance of the system, just like spherical capacitor, and we have to find out the energy stored in between. But we will need field for sure anyways. What is E? R less than R1? 0. What is E? R greater than R2? 0. Why? Because simply by Gauss law Q enclosed is 0. Got it? So Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL. Now what will this help you find? This will help you find the potential difference. Why do you need potential difference? Because Q equal to CV. So C is eventually Q by V. Got it? Okay. So dV is minus E dot dr. Aye, sir. Minus as it is Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL R cap, sir, dot dr vector, sir. कोई शक? Right? Or dv, you are going into out, na? So do v plus to v minus. I hope that's not a problem. है ना? Is equal to, now dr cap, sorry, dr vector and r cap both are in the increasing order of the radii vector, so they both are parallel. So cos theta for the dot product is equal to 1. So what comes out? Minus comes out. Yes, sir. What else comes out, sir? Sir, 2 pi epsilon naught L also comes out, sir. Very good. So what's inside the integral, sir? Sir, inside you have a dr by r situation. And your r is going from r1 to r2. Take your time. I cannot write more clearly than this. I think I've done a good job. Integration v, again, v plus to v minus. No problem. Minus q upon 2 pi epsilon naught L ln r r1 to r2. Take your time. Take your time. Shall I go ahead? Put the values, please. Put the value. How about we take this minus sign and incorporate it, use it, absorb it, consume it in the left-hand side by swapping the limits. So if I swap the limits, instead of v minus minus v plus, does the audience agree that it will become v plus minus v minus? And here would be q upon 2 pi epsilon naught L ln of R2 minus R1. Now come on, you all are big kids now, veterans, है ना? ठीक है ना? And this V plus minus V minus is nothing but the potential difference. What did we have to create? Sir, we had to create Q by V. So here is your Q by V. It looks like your Q by V is 2 pi epsilon naught L upon ln of R2 by R1. Is it? Isn't that C, capacitance? So this is what I got for capacitance of a cylindrical. I think I'm right. Chill, relax. Easy. What's the modus operandi? Find PD. Then that PD will for sure contain Q. Then do jumbling and create Q by V. Then whatever it is represents capacitance. Remember this. Don't memorize this. Remember this, the derivation. Because there is a shortcut coming. Not shortcut, there is a union of concept coming, which is applicable to any capacitor. ठीक. Let's go. Capish so far? Okay. We're still here. Energy stored. For energy stored, what do we need? Field expression. We found. See, did you realize how much benefit we are having because we know the field expression? Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL R cap. So one is this thing. What was the other thing? Sir, other thing was energy density. Shabash, du by dv is half epsilon naught E square. Right? Any other question? Any questions so far? No. So what do? Again, you take this time take an element of the entire cylinder if you want. L length ले लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Right? So du, elemental radius r, so du will be equal to epsilon naught by 2, हटाओ, E square. So Q upon 2 pi epsilon naught RL square into dV. Now, what would be the dV? Good. The area into thickness. 2 pi RL will be the area into thickness, that very thin volume, dr. Array, 4 pi r square dr was in the sphere case, na baba. So 2 pi RL into dr will be in the cylindrical case. What's the big deal? Can I open it up? Yes, sir, open it up. So what I'm getting is, I think, so epsilon naught by 2 separate. Let's not rush, guys. Let's not rush. This is q square, right, sir? This is q square. Okay. What else are we getting? Sir, here we are getting, sir, 4 pi square epsilon naught square r square L square. Okay. And sir, here we are getting 2 pi RL and there is a dr, sir. No rush, no rush. Take your time. Take your time. I know I've opened up a Pandora's box kind of thing. You do the math. Start slicing. Start slicing. I'll copy this after 30 seconds. I will write what the correct expression is after 30 seconds. You go on. You go on. Well, I can clearly see epsilon. Okay, let me use a different color to cancel. It looks fancy. Let me use black to cancel. So epsilon naught cancels with 2. Right, sir? One of the 2 cancels with this one of the 2. Right, sir? One of the pi cancels with this pi. Right, sir? And one of the R and one of the L cancels with the powers. Nice. I like what's happening. So what's left Nietzsche in the denominator? There is a 4. There is a pi, there is an epsilon naught, there is an r, not an r, a r, and there is a l. And what's upar in the numerator? Just q square. Can I copy? Good. So du turns out to be q square upon, what else was there? 4 pi epsilon naught L. 4 pi epsilon naught L, right? And there is a dr by r situation going on. Got it? Got it, sir. Integration r1 to r2, and of course integral du will be what? U inside. Very good. U in between. So U middle, which I am calling as U because inside the inner, outside the outer is 0. U comes out to be and now the big reveal, q square by 4 pi epsilon naught L ln of R2 by R1. This is what, in my opinion, the energy stored. Click. I think I'm right again.